Okay, so you've had a rotator cuff repair. Now, with the rotator cuff repairs, depending upon the degree, we want to be really careful with them. So we sort of say stitches in jelly because the tendons typically can be really soft. And if you move the arm too much by itself, you can actually pull apart all the operation. So if you think of the arm a little bit like ropes and pulleys, the muscles that actually have been damaged are the ones that do this and the ones that do this movement here. Okay, so that's what the rotator cuff does. So if you're moving the arm by itself at this point in time, those ropes are pulling on the repair job. Now what we can do, because we don't want the arm to get too stiff, is we can use your other arm to do all the work. So you can rotate your arm and you can lift your arm using your good arm. So what happens then is the ropes are moving, but there's no tension upon them. So we'll have shown you some exercises to do where your good arm will help to move your arm, or you can just gently sort of let gravity help to move your arm. And that's important just to get a little bit of range in your arm in the next week or two. And over the next few weeks, you'll gradually increase that up as the healing and everything feels better. It takes 6 weeks for the tendon to heal, okay? So for the first 6 weeks, we're really quite restricted and we keep your movements below typically shoulder height, and I sort of say goal umpire position, okay? And that just allows the tendons to solidify a little bit. Now it takes another 6 weeks for the tendons to heal enough before you can start to push it. So it can take a little while before you're really starting to get stuck into your shoulder. So we don't tend to do any strengthening or loading work on the arm until at least 3 months. Okay, and tendon health and integrity is still quite weak at up to 12 months. So you can appreciate that it's actually a really long process to get this right. Now functionally you'll be able to lift and move your arm probably around the 3 to 4 month mark fairly well. However, you won't be able to load above your head, or you won't be able to lift up heavy activities or items because that's going to put a lot of pressure onto the cuff. Now in terms of sleeping, you're going to be a bit more comfortable if you have something under your arm, so a pillow or a small roll towel to stop the arm from drifting back. When the arm's back in this position, it tends to put a little bit of pressure on the front of the arm, particularly if you've had the biceps done at the same time. And so, therefore, if your arm's supported in this position, it tends to be far more comfortable for you. You also tend to be a little bit more comfortable if you're slightly upright. Now, lots of pillows on the bed. You might use a recliner chair, or you may even use lots of pillows on the couch. So it really doesn't matter, it's just what feels comfortable for you. To wash under your arm, you can just lean forward and you'll be able to get stuck in under there. Now, to wash under the other arm, you can just bend that one up. So if you're just letting that arm sort of hang forward, it's not really putting too much pressure on the repair, and so that's an easy way to wash under your arm. To get dressed, you'll be able to thread your arm through first, thread everything else through, and to take it off, you're just slowly removing it from the arm last. So it's really important to just look after the arm. It's a long process for it to get right, so you don't have to be there yesterday. In fact, if you push it too hard at the start, you're far more likely for the arm to become irritable, and then it's going to hurt, it's going to make your life miserable, but it's also going to take a lot longer at the other end. So I always say that it's the people who push too hard that are the ones that do the worst with this operation. So take it nice and slowly. If it is a little bit sore, an ice pack can be really handy just to relieve the pain. So a pack of frozen peas, a gel pack, ice in a plastic bag over the top of the shoulder for about 15 to 20 minutes as you need to. Now in terms of physio, you'll see your specialist at 1 to 2 weeks. Now we tend to keep your range limited to 90 degrees for the first 4 weeks roundabouts. So if you're seeing a specialist and you're passively moving your arm up and down to sort of shoulder height, and you're passively moving your arm to goal umpire sort of position, you're probably not going to need a whole lot of physio until probably after about a month or so. So your specialist, when they see you, will guide you as to what you need to do, and then you'll key into your physio at that point in time. And the physio's job will be to gradually increase the range and to then start implementing some strengthening exercises later in the program in order to get your arm back to full use. All in all, it's about a 3 to 6 month time frame until you're getting pretty good functional use of your arm, but as I said, it can take a lot longer for you to get back to using full load and heavy weights, particularly above head. Now, all the information's in the sheet that we've given you. If you have any problems or any questions, our phone number and our email address is on there, so get in contact. We're only happy to help. Otherwise, good luck with your rehab.